Lee Anderson, and the veteran fencing world championships has any en garde after a trans competitor won the title against other biological woman. America's Liz Kokab was allowed to compete and ultimately triumph in the female division after the US fencing changed their policy last year. But the swimmer and activist Riley Gaines has denounced the victory, saying that winning a title as a male in the women's category doesn't make you a champion, it makes you an entitled cheat. This comes after British Jiu-Jitsu were also slammed for allowing trans women into the female category. I must say, I find that particularly egregious. No, seriously, because then you just end up with men beating women up, right? So, Lee Anderson joins me now. Lee, you'll never sit on the fence, will you? Is this person a cheat?
Yes. For anybody listening on radio tonight, Patrick, that photo we've just seen, that is a man. It's basically a man. Look, you know, in the 70s, when I was growing up, we used to have these problems with the Olympic Games and World Championships where, on some occasions, we didn't know whether the Russian shot putters, the East German shot putters were a man or a woman. And they used to have a sex test, a basic sex test, which was, have a look down below. But these days, it doesn't matter. A bloke can turn up, put a frock on, bit of lip in and a wig, and turn up in a women's championships and compete with women. It's not fair. It's cheating. And like I said in my tweet, I think it was this morning or yesterday, you know, in 20, 30 years' time, we could end up with an Olympic Games or World Championships with no biological women there.
Yeah.
It'll all be men competing against women. It's absolutely not. They should be ashamed of themselves.
Yeah.
It's time for these sporting bodies to sort this out.
Yeah, I mean, that is what we're going to end up with, because ultimately it's going to come down to peak physical performance.
Yeah.
And in an athletics tournament, men are more athletic than women.
Well, if the Olympic Games tomorrow was all about strength and ability and pace and strength, and there was no women's events and no men's events, there would be no women there.
No, there wouldn't.
At all.
No. I think when it comes to, like, fencing, I get it's an extreme sport in the sense that it involves a sword, but they are all geared up, etc. Things like jiu-jitsu or MMA or boxing.
Yeah.
But that is a man beating a woman up on national television.
Yeah.
And I find that absolutely disgusting.
And the thing is, Patrick, you know, imagine having a daughter, a young girl's training for a particular sport, maybe swimming or something like that, from the age of 4 or 5 year old, puts the hours in, puts the shifts in for 10, 12 years, and then, hey, presto, 12 years later, some bloke turns up in the dressing room, jumps in pool with them and beats them off at pool.
Full tackle as well.
Yeah, full tackle.
You know, I find that absolutely astonishing that you could be in that situation. I mean, even the showers alone pose a danger before you even start competing.
Well, this is the argument I have with people. You know, when they call me transphobic, or I say, no, it's not transphobic. You do not want a bloke turning up in a swimming changing room next to a young girl getting all his bits out.
No, because that's basic common sense, but we can't.
You know, back in my day, they'd have been locked up for that.
Well, yeah. Well,
you know.
It's not beyond the realms of possibility that some of them should today, actually.
No.
But a spokesman, or is it, for USA Fencing said, USA Fencing proudly stands with Liz Kokab and celebrates her continued success at the highest levels of fencing. We are committed to fostering an inclusive environment that respects all athletes, regardless of gender identity. And, of course, this, indeed, is just some trans people. Not every single trans person wants to compete in these kind of things, or, indeed, poses a danger to anybody. In fact, the vast majority of them are completely fine.